Let
This
me share my
conference will now be recorded.
one second.
This conference will now be recorded.
Hey, Abhinav, sharing my screen.
Sure.
Let me know when you can see it.
I can.
Okay, cool. So, Abhinav, as discussed, we are done with the model configuration. If you have any doubts and going forward, I think we have another 7-8 sessions remaining, which we're going to cover for other modules. So let me know if any doubts. We can take that up and we can discuss on that. Okay.
Sure.
So
Venkat, a
we'll
quick
start with the.
uh,
Yes, please.
till the time Amol joins, I thought I'll quickly clarify something. So Venkat, apart from this session, like in future, if we have some doubt, is there any contact or is there any way we could reach you or something?
You cannot reach me because I'm John Cena types. No,
Okay.
I mean you can definitely reach out to the team, so they will send an email to me. So that's a kind of an agreement that the team had with me. So no
Okay.
instructor is supposed to directly contact the, because we always have the coordinators and um, so we have our team, right? Like you will be, maybe I'm not sure with whom you're interacting, but yeah, that person is always available. You can reach out to him and then he will kind of escalate that to me, and he can arrange for a call or something. So yeah.
Correct. So the reason I asked that is like might be in future when I take up something, if I have some questions or some kind of thing, if I have to get in touch, do I have to contact through them or how does it work?
Yeah, you have to please contact them, or I
Okay.
would say just put up whatever requirement you have, put it up in send an email,
Sure.
so that they will send it to me, and then you
Sure.
can call them, and then maybe they
Okay.
they'll find a slot, and then in the slot we can actually discuss, because it's kind of a heads up for me also, right? So that it's not like on the spot you tell
Sure.
something to me and then I
No, no,
reply
no
back
problem
something like
with
that.
that. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, so okay, so as part of demand planning, there are we're going to cover these topics. First, what we're going to cover is how to do a forecast. Okay, so statistical forecast. So how we create a profile, how do we specify the algorithm, and how to run it, where to run it, and how to verify the results, and the different stuff. Next we see is ABC/XYZ segmentation. Have you heard about this?
I did.
Yeah, same thing. So how you can uniquely label a product into an ABC indicator based on obviously based on some business transaction data, that is key figure data. So you have to pick up a key figure, and system would accordingly segment your entire products or anything into ABC. Then we'll see the new product introduction in here. So how, if a new product is coming into your product portfolio, so how you're going to do your forecasting, and then how you can specify the phase in, phase out, mm, and stuff. So fourth thing we're going to see is a data realignment. So data realignment is when your product, like a five products, they belong to one brand, and that brand, the sub brand or something, you're going to have a merger between the brands, and you want to change your data, realign all your transaction data. Now when you query a key figure data, so instead of looking that data at a previous brand name, you have to see a new brand name that you want to realign your entire system in. So hey Amul.
I'm good.
Hey. So yeah, so um, I could think of this four, but I think there are more. So first, we'll start with the how to do a forecast today, and then possibly tomorrow we'll start with how to do ABC and XYZ segmentation, and then a new product introduction and how we do forecasting for a new product when there is no historical data available for it, and how we also do a phase in and phase out and stuff. And even in this new product introduction also, we can say that a particular product is getting phased out. You can say that this will eventually die in the last quarter of this year. If you specify it, how will the forecasting algorithm that you run, be it a linear regression or ARIMA or whatever model it is, it has to consider that product life cycle and give the forecast accordingly. And then we'll see the data realignment, and then these are the topics that I could think of. But yeah, I'll see. So yeah, so first we'll start with the forecasting today. So let me go into the system. So under the demand planner, there is an app called Manage Forecast Models. So this is where we model our forecast. Okay, the profile I mean to say. So I click on this, and this is under demand planner. So it lists down there are 742 profiles have been created. Okay, so there is no restriction. You can create any number of profiles that you want. A profile is mm, uh, a profile is a forecasting profile, like how you configure, how you want the forecasting to be done. And just like in any other Fury app in IBP, we have a filter bar on top where you can filter on as per the planning area, or you can pick up a model name, and then so yeah, so these are the model names, auto exponential smoothing, and like whatever gradient boosting, and MLR, multilinear regression, and stuff. You can pick up a periodicity at what level that profile is being created, because it's up to you at what level you want to run your forecasting. You can run it at a daily level, weekly level, monthly level, your wish. And the forecasting also, it need not be at a product ID level. It could be at a product group level, or it could be at a brand level. So so yeah, forecasting can be done at the any level you want. And there is also no restriction that the forecasting always has to happen based on the sales history. The future is your demand forecast, so it need not be like that. So this is just an algorithm. You can very well use it, like I'm just saying, whatever capacity planning we did, you can run a forecast on your capacity planning also. So I mean to say, if you have a solid historical data with you, if you get to know that what is your final available capacity after all the maintenance activities have happened, across your production locations and across your resources. If you have a 1 year a solid data with you, quality data with you, you can very well run a forecasting algorithm, and system would give you the future capacity plan. It's a purely based statistics based result. So I'm just saying that you can pick up any key figure, and you can make it as an input, and you can also bring another key figure, and you can also make it as an output. But yeah, I mean, both the key figures has to be at a, there are some conditions that both has to be at some level. Like, I mean, you cannot do a forecast at a resource level. The history the history cannot be at a resource, and if you a forecast would be at a product level. So it will not work, right? So so yeah, there are some restrictions, but the point is that you can run the algorithm, forecasting algorithm, on any key figure, on any particular business requirement or something, and created by, changed by, or you can hide also the filter bar. And these are all the different profiles that have been created. So now we'll create a profile for us. So so now let's identify what is our input for the forecasting, what is our output for our forecasting. Okay, so I would say we'll pick up a key figure called as actuals quantity. That is, I'm going to the test conf2 in here. Yeah, they where is the actuals? So this actuals qty. Let's take this. This is a system editable key figure. That's fine, but we'll load some value. Okay, so that would be our input for our forecast. That is where we store our historical data. I'm logging in and I'm making sure that some data is there. So I mean, I can maintain it at any point of time, but now let's see that if there is some data or not. And as I told, that there is no restriction, that it always has to be actuals. It could be anything. um, First let me see what I have here. And this is at a week product log cust. Okay, the planning level is at week product location customer. So this is a sales order data which is coming obviously from S4 system, which signifies that on every week what is a product that is getting shipped from to what customer. It could be Amazon, eBay or something, and from what location, what DC, or DC1, DC2, warehouse 1, warehouse 2. So that is the level at which the data is available, and it would be bought back into your IBP system, and it is getting saved in this actual quantity. And we can use that as a base for our forecasting. Or it could be coming at daily level, then you can change this key figure to day product log cust, or you can also create a new key figure and you can keep it as a, maybe S4 actual sales or something, and you can use that as your input key figure. So now let me the customer, and then just bringing what locations and what customers we have in the system. Okay, there are only two SKUs, SKU X1, SKU X2. Okay, three customers: Amazon, Target, eBay, and then locations. Okay, there are so many locations. Okay, now let me maintain some data. Again, master data workbook, and pick up this drop down. Instead of master data, we are maintaining planning objects with key figure data. System asks for the planning level. Click on the drop down, pick up that week product location customer. This is a one, and the version is base version. We are going in edit mode. The system starts from the first period of your time profile, 2017. Mm, no, it is picking up like whatever. So it is picking up the current week, not the current week, the current week number in the first year of your calendar, like whatever. So but yeah, I mean, you just come to your okay, now we should load for history, right? Good. Now we are in 26th week of 2019. Let me go to the 26th week of 2018. Okay, I'm in the 26th week of 2018. Let me load it till till the previous week, that is 25th week of 2019. So I am loading data for 62 periods of our historical values, and there are 35 key figures that are mapped under this planning level. We'll pick up the actual quantity. Okay, there, the planning combinations are already there. Why they are already there? Maybe at that planning level, week, prod, location, customer, might have created some other key figure data. So that's why the planning objects got created. So yeah, now let's do this. So I'll skew x1. I'm saying whatever. Just maintaining some data in hundreds. Oh, this copying is not working. Okay, let's do one thing. I just want to finish this off quickly. So skew x2, I'll maintain some the big values like 2000 or something. The skew x2. And skew x2 has fewer combinations. Okay. Yeah. So let's do this. I'm just copying the same values, guys. And let me also do this for one time period. There is no data. Let's say maybe the interface didn't run or something wrong. Just saying that the data is not clear. That's what I mean to say. There's no data in here. There's no data in here, and there is no data in here. So there are so many periods where there is no data. Okay. Save changes. Now our history is ready. We can use this as a base and we can predict the future. Now let's pick up our our historical. So there is a key figure called statistical forecast quantity. And, yeah, let's make this as our our target key figure, like where the forecast would be appearing in. So now let's create and yeah, so we have also decided that we'll run this at a weak prod location customer. So if you want to run the forecast at a brand level, then you have to pick up your key figure at a brand level. You have to create a key figure that is at brand level. Okay, come here, create. It will ask for a planning area. Test conf2 is our planning area. So the model name is this is a four. So there are 4 tabs here. One is general, pre-processing steps, forecasting steps, post-processing steps. So now under the general, I'm giving the the kind of these selections I'll make. First, I'll give the name and description is forecast model for test conf2 planning area. Or let me say hmm, yeah, so I have created without pre-processing. I just want to show you something there. A forecast model for test control without pre-processing steps. What level you want to run? At week level. Historical periods, how many? I'll say, how many? We loaded 62, right? 62 historical periods. Forecast periods, I want to do the forecast for 52 periods. And then error measure calculation horizon. If you want to calculate error measure, you can give that. You can say disregard leading nulls. This is where you check that. Any offset for historical periods, any offset for forecast periods, any frozen forecast periods. Now let's go to the pre-processing steps. I mean, just keeping it, simple, guys. Next, going to the pre-processing steps. So this is where, you cleanse your data. So, and then there are some calculations available to cleanse your data. Let me click on plus. So these are the three available algorithms where you can substitute missing values. So let me click on help. So yeah, so where was it? So you guys can see it, right? I mean, there's a help and very interactive. So pre-processing steps. On this tab page, you can specify how you want the system to prepare your historical data for forecasting. So this is what I'm saying, cleansing the data or, making it more qualitative. To do so and add one or more pre-processing algorithms to your forecast model, the following algorithms are available. One is outlier correction. Use it to find and correct values in the historical data that lie outside the expected range of values. Number one. Number two, substitute missing values. Use it to substitute missing values with the mean or median of other values in the historical data or with a value that you specify. So, so if you say substitute missing values and in the historical data there are so many gaps, right? Intentionally we have deleted some time periods. And if I say substitute missing values, so system would substitute those missing values with a mean or a median of your remaining data set. There are 62 time periods of data is available, the historical data in that key figure. Some periods are missing. So if you pick up this pre-processing algorithm, system does the mean calculation of other available 62 periods, other periods in that 62 periods, and then calculates the mean and substitutes them in while running it. But in reality, in that key figure, the data will not be replaced. The data would still be empty in those periods. But while running the algorithm, it will replace it with the mean segments. And there is one promotion sales uplift. Use it to eliminate outliers caused by planned promotions from the historical data. So like these are the stuff. And if you want to read more, you click on it and then it will give you more details. We'll not obviously go into it. It will take the entire day just on this. But yeah, on a high level, this is it. But let's not keep any let's not cleanse our data because this is without pre-processing. I'll create another algorithm which will have with pre-processing. Okay, now next is the forecasting steps. So this is overall parameters. What is the main input for forecasting? What is the target key figure for forecast? So the main input is actuals quantity, right? And then the output is this statistic forecast quantity. And then there is this product lifecycle information. We'll do this later. And then there is one for ex post forecast. You pick up a key figure where it system calculates the ex post. I think you guys are all aware, right? I mean, this is not nothing new. I mean, it's already there in APO, but the interfaces are different. And yes, there are a few things that are kind of new in the IBP. But yeah, so ex post is what is your um, like you last period you said that your forecast is 100 but the actuals turned out to be 150, so there is a variance in your forecast itself, right? So that is kind of a proved thing. So system goes back into the past and it will read the past forecast what system has predicted. It will see the actuals that has coming in and what is a variance, and accordingly system would tell the quality of the forecast. Now we said overall parameters. Now we have to pick up the algorithm. We have not chosen any algorithms yet. To add a new algorithm, click the plus button at the top right corner of this panel. Click on plus. These are the algorithms that are available to process your forecasting. Auto arima, auto arimax, sorry, max, automated exponential smoothing, single exponential smoothing, adaptive response rate, double exponential, brown exponential, triple exponential, simple moving average, simple average, weighted moving average, weighted average, cross term multiplication. There's so many. So so let's pick anything. So maybe auto arima serima. So see, like based on the algorithm that you pick up, the inputs that the system asks would be varying. You asked for auto arima serima, and then you see it is asking what is a search strategy, and then exhaustive information criteria, blah blah blah. It's honestly speaking, I'm not aware what does this arima and serima does. So in your real life implementations, if you guys are lucky enough, the business itself will have some clarity on what kind of algorithm that they prefer, because you cannot randomly go and pick up your statistical forecasting algorithm. It depends upon the kind of business that you are in and the kind of historical data that you have, what kind of a trends that the data has, what kind of a seasonality that it follows, and all that stuff. So I mean, it's not something new. You can go and type in Google what is arima slash sarima. There will be lots and lots of white papers getting published on this, and you will see some recommendations that this has to be used for a particular kind of data set. Then you will get the right results. Let's go to the help again. So let's see. I think this is a one automated exponential. Is this a one? These are all like exponential smoothings. And what is this? This is exponential smoothing again. There's some Croston and MLR multilinear regression. Um, so this is where you specify your dependent and independent values. Like for example, if your forecast is depending upon few factors like your uh, mm, other factors uh, year or your population density or something like that, like basically y is equal to mx plus c kind of a thing. Like y is your forecast, and x is your the factor, and m is the weight. So system is having a kind of a dependent and independent relationships in your data, and system would give lots of statistics, guys. So yeah, anyway, have a good read. Go to Google and type, and you can learn a lot on from these algorithms. Or just saying one more thing, if you guys want to be very specific, want to learn anything on a one particular algorithm, let me know. I'll do some research, and then next class we can talk about it. So for now, I'm picking up a relatively simple algorithm, single exponential smoothing. I think it just asks for only alpha beta, I think. Yeah, alpha. So alpha is less than the alpha, higher the something something. What is that? Hmm, where is that? Exponential smoothings. Great. Let's not go with the single exponential also. Oh no, it's asking for so many. Let's go for simple things. Let's go for simple moving average or something like that. Uh, it is saying number of periods, and then the target key figure for forecast, the extent calculation for future periods, and again ex post forecast. So the thing is, like, you remember the best fit algorithm. So what I mean to say is, in this forecast model, you can create multiple algorithms. See, this is one, this is two, and and also you can add another one. See, there are three. Now there are multiple forecasts happening, and then you can specify, like, every key figure where it has to get saved. So you can say that, create three key figures, one key figure to store your data that has the output of the simple moving average algorithm run. Create another key figure which stores the automated arima sarima algorithm run. Where is it? Here, target key figure for the forecast. Create another key figure which will store the output of single exponential smoothing in this key figure. And every algorithm will have some kind of inputs, where simple moving average, it is, number of minutes you give. Auto arima will have auto regression and stuff, and then whereas single exponential moving will have the alpha coefficients, 0.3. Okay, and then you can say that choose best fit forecast, or you can say calculate weighted average forecast. So if you say calculate weighted average forecast, that means you want to utilize all three, and then you give the weights here. So you say I'll give only, okay, I'll give one weight here. I'll say, I give 30% to it, then I'll give 50% to it, and then I'll give 20% to it. So system simply does the weighted average. 30% weight will be given to the simple average moving output, and 50% will be given to the auto arima sarima output, and then 20% to the single exponential. Or you will say that I want to choose the best forecast based on the error. That's a mean percentage error. So system would calculate the mean percentage error for all three, and then system gives you the best fit. And where will that would be available? It would be available in this key figure called target forecast for target key figure for forecast. So this is where the main input and the main outputs are. Okay, now let's pick up let's say Croston method. I think alpha is for the, forgetting what is alpha stands for, like whatever, I'm giving the least alpha, saving it. And then there is a post processing also. So this is where you calculate, once the forecast is done, then you can do all your error measures. So you can just maintain all this here. So that's it, I saved the forecast. Let's go and put a filter, show filter bar. What happened? Go back. I'll pick up the planning area. Go. Where is it? This test con 2 underscore forecast underscore without pre pro. Now let's create another one. Uh, or why to just taking a copy of it. You see the copy option here? Selected this algorithm, create a copy. And then I'll say with pre-processing. Let's go inside and let's edit something in here. So in the pre-processing steps, I wanted to substitute missing values. Method used for substitution is mean. Input for algorithm is not delivered quantity. This is actuals. No need. Time scope for substitution is full horizon. Saving it. Okay, I have two models with me now. So let's go. Go into the planning view, bringing up the planning Excel planning views. Okay, let's edit this. I'll go to the historical 26th of 2018 till 26th of 2019. No filters, great. Going to the next tab. So this is starting, great. Product customer, and we'll see our the calculated. Asking for hmm, so there's no value for 25th. 26B also there is no value. 28 there is no value, but rest all we have some values, and they are coming in two-digit number because of the conversion factor. We are in CS, that is in cases. I think we gave the conversion factors in click on view formats. This additional EPM formatting sheet would go off. So view formats, that would go off. Now I'm saying this is sales history, and this is a future forecast. um, yeah, let's save this template, add, say, statistical forecast. And guys, if you have observed that in with the both with pre-processing, without pre-processing, I gave the same key figure as the output, then we cannot actually differentiate. So let me identify another key figure so that we see two different results instead of just one. There should be a demand planning quantity or something. I don't have any key figure which will have which we can store our forecast. Or yeah, let's pick up the consumer demand is at a different level. Okay. System got hanged. 1 second, guys. There are other key figures, but there are some calculations involved. You see, that's why I don't want to complicate this. We'll just keep the example as simple as possible so that Okay, I found one. It's called sales forecast quantity. Let's change the name here. Statistical forecast QTY with pre-processing. Now let me use this in this instead of statistical forecast. I'll say sales forecast quantity. Okay, I'm saving it. Okay, great. We're done with it. Now let me come here in the Excel planning view. So this is statistical forecast quantity, and I also bring up the sales forecast quantity. I think I gave the same name. Okay, this I need to disconnect and connect back because the changes that you made to the key figure description, to reflect that, you need to log off and log in back. I'm again logging off and logging back. Edit view with pre-processing. Now go advanced, run. What do you want to run? I want to run statistical forecasting. Click on start forecast. Now you have to, at what level you want to run? I want to run at location product customer. Time period is week. So when you say all time levels, it will list you everything, all the profiles that were created on this. So you see here with pre-processing, without pre-processing. First, let's do without pre-processing. Target unit of measure is cases. Pick up the version that you want. Give any filter. Run it only for a product X1. For X1, you pick up SKU X1. Or if you have a predefined filter, click on this filter and then you apply that and then you run it. So filters is a powerful tool, guys. Like there was this requirement in one of the project that I did, that the planners don't want to run the forecast for all products. So they want to specify that what is a kind of like they want to run it only for a few products, uh, few selection of products. So and what we did is that we created a custom attribute called z attribute. It's kind of active item or an active flag or something, which is part of the product master data, and then we ask them to maintain either a 1 or a 0. If it is 1, that means it is active for forecasting. If it is 0, that means it is inactive for forecasting. So we have seen how flexible it is to update the master data. If they have roles and authorizations. So you can come to the forecasting model and then you can just go and apply a filter. If you want, you can also hard code that filter if you're running it as a batch job. Filter active item flag is 1, so only for those active items system would run the forecast. So for all the products with the 0, they'll not the forecast will not happen. So this is the status. We have been seeing this, how to schedule a job from Excel planning view. We can also schedule a job from the web UI. You can also run a job from web UI, or you can also schedule a kind of a batch job. It would run, as it is. So it is finished now. You can click on finished. A log will download. So yeah, so this is a job test conf2 underscore forecast without job number. This is being scheduled, and there are only one forecasting steps, right? Because there we haven't, there's only one algorithm that we have maintained. So these are the outputs. So you see some forecast is coming in. It's in nines. based on the history. The history is like tens. It is coming as a nines. So yeah, so if it is in eaches, if you maintain the unit of measure in eaches, okay, let's maintain in eaches. Go to the master data workbook, go into the unit of measure conversion factor, edit mode, okay. Pick up these two product, okay. Oh, we have to maintain other product also. Okay, there's no other for other product. There is no unit of measure, and the conversion would be 1 because the base unit of measure is a target unit of measure. So if that is a case, if you want to view the data only in the base unit of measure, then the conversion factors becomes 1. Okay, 1 second, this got failed. Why it got failed? 1 second, let me see the base unit of measure for this product. Oh, I think there is in the target unit of measure, first you have to maintain the eaches. See, there is no such thing as EA here, eaches. So now come here, edit mode, SQX2, eaches, this is 1, this is 1, save it. Okay, it's done. So now let's get back to the planning view and then edit view. Go to the key figures and here pick up the H's. Go sales history, pick up the H's. It is saying there's no filter, that's fine. Yeah, so now it is coming to, so we can see it's in hundreds and 150 and 100 is the forecast for from RDC 101 SQX1 to Amazon target eBay. So we are getting in 93, 138, 93 for Amazon target eBay. And for the X2, there is no okay. Now let's run for the with pre-processing. We'll verify both the results. With pre-processing, target unit of measure is HS. Now this time running in HS, there is no filter. Scheduled. Click on status of statistical forecasting. In process. From his current period to 130 periods in future. What is it done or what? Finished. Refresh. You can see that with the pre-processing we have kind of better values. I mean, it's coming for 120, 120, 120. But whereas in here the history is 100, 150, 100. If you haven't applied any, okay, let's filter on SQX1. If we take one combination, then it's more. so take this combination. So without pre-processing, the values are coming 93, 138, 93, and for this historical values of 100, 300. But if you apply with pre-processing, then the values have gone a bit higher. And I mean, you just tweak the alpha value, and then you'll see a different thing. I mean, you guys know it. If I say this is zero point 0.5, what is this? This is with pre-processing. This is zero point 0.5. We'll also go back. I also applied without pre-processing. Forecasting steps. So this is 0.5. And yeah, I mean, you can't arbitrarily come and choose the alpha value as you want. It's a statistical value, and then with pre-processing each is next. Let's apply a filter here. Run the first one. Also, let me run the second one. Forgot what I have run. 1 second. Statistical forecast status. Okay, it's done. Okay, anyway, why to run both? Let's just see. We have, what do we have run? We have run forecast. We ran with pre-processing. Okay, let's click on with pre-processing. Refresh. See, the values have come down to 109. So I mean, yeah, the thing is, like, the you change your you tweak your input parameters in your forecast profile, then things would definitely change. So yeah, second thing I want to talk about in here. So now there is another key figure called as a consensus demand. This key figure is at weak prod customer. So there is no location dimension here. So your history can have a location dimension, or ship to party, or sold to party, blah blah blah, XYZ. But when you're running the forecast, you're not interested to see all those other dimensions, right? So that aggregation can happen with the forecasting. So on the fly. I mean, you can very well come here, and then you can take off the location here. So system would show an aggregated data. So that is anyway there. I mean, you can so but this key figure, statistical forecast quantity, the base planning level is at prod location customer. But sometimes if you want directly the values to be at the custom product and customer level, then you can use the use another key figure, and where input key figure was at one level, output key figure was at another level, and then you can very well do that. So I want to do, let me copy this as a test config too. So same, everything is same. Customer level, forecast steps. So here, instead of sales, I'll say consensus demand. The new model has been added. So need to disconnect and connect back so that a new profile would be reflected in your Excel planning view. No, edit view. I'll bring up the consensus demand. I want to run statistical forecast, and now I'll pick up only product and customer. So because at that level I want to run it. So now if I go here, I'll see test configuration to forecast at customer level. But if I also bring up the location dimension, then that at customer is not coming in. Simple. Why? Because you were saying that you want to run the forecasting at the product customer location level. So at this level, that algorithm was not been that statistical forecasting algorithm was not configured. So that is only at a product customer level. So now the at customer would pop up, eaches, run it, run. So system will on the fly do the aggregation of your input key figure, that is your sales history, actual quantity. The base planning level is prod, location, customer. So system does the aggregation at product and customer level, and then it will use the history at that prod customer level and gives the forecast. You see the forecast is coming in like this. So like this, you can perform your forecasting activities. And I know, like, there are like different algorithms are there, and then different pre-processing steps are there. You can very well try, what if it is what if it is not missing values, what if it is outlier correction and stuff. And but you guys get it right, like how it will function. And also again for the post processing, all the error measures, we know how to deal with that and stuff. So let's look at this theory. So first, what we have to do? First, we have to create a profile. That's number one. What is a model name? At what level you want to run, and how many historical periods that you want to select. So historical periods is 52, and you can also say future is 52. Then system would run the forecast at these selection inputs. At what level you want to run, and then what is a model name, and then you will do the pre-processing steps. 3 algorithms that are available, and then you actually specify the forecasting steps. What are the parameters? Parameters include what is your input and what is your output, and then other algorithm selections you can do, and then finally 4 post processing steps. So these are the stuff. So yeah, and again, like data cleansing, as I said, there are like 3 things. One is substitute missing values. You see the red ones here, there is no data in here, so system would replace the, if you say mean value of all these blues will be calculated on the fly, and the mean would be replaced in here. And then outliers also like this, so the data is somehow fluctuating and there is a spike on this particular time period. Maybe that is an outlier. System would cleanse it, and then it brings down to the mean. This is a mean of your entire data set. Then again, promotion, sales uplift, there would be some promotions that have been involved in your historical data. That's why the sales are happening so high at that particular promotion time period. If you want to, if you cleanse it, and you can cleanse it. So some theory about the steps, pre-processing and stuff. So yeah, so summary, guys, what we have seen today. First, we have to identify, it's not a simple thing like this. I mean, you guys know how the entire demand planning forecasting activity would be done. So first, identify at what level you want to do your forecast, whether it's a brand level, whether you want to do it at location level, whether you want the DC things to be there, whether is it the week level or at the month level, and etc. Then you have to identify the key figures, and obviously their base planning levels. So here you have seen that we created three different profiles right now, and that three different profiles have three different outputs. Without pre-processing has statistical forecast quantity as an output. With pre-processing has some other sales forecast quantity as a output. And then for another aggregation profile, we said consensus demand is output. So yeah, you can create multiple profiles, and every profile will have multiple outputs, and multiple key figures would be coming in. So if you can create a custom key figures with the right name, then it would be easy to uniquely identify the forecasting specific forecasting outputs. Number one. Number two, you can create different forecasting profiles for your kind of a quality data that you have. Like for example, you can have multiple divisions. Like if you take example of a Samsung again, or examples, so mobile smartphone division can have a stable historical data, but whereas if you go with some kind of like like smartphone gadgets or something, uh, it can have some kind of a spike data in it. Like there would be huge promotions involved in in the smartwatches, and the seasonality will be giving a kind of influence on the historical data, etc., etc. So what I mean to say is that inside your product hierarchy, different products can have different kind of historical data. So you can create different forecasting algorithms for those business divisions, and give a right name for the forecasting profile for the handheld devices division, and a forecasting profile for smartwatch division. And smartwatch division profile can have auto exponential smoothing algorithm selected in it. Smartphone forecasting can have linear regression as a selected or something. Then run it and then schedule it, and you will see this thing. But make sure that you identify the key figures which will hold the outputs of that forecasting. Then once we identify the inputs, then what we have to do, main key figure, input key figure, and output key figure. So then what? Create the forecast profile. So now in this creation of the forecast profile, we have seen first create a model. Then here we have a general parameters like name of the model name, periodicity, uh, historical periods consideration, etc. Then is pre-processing. So pre-processing, like again, you have seen when you said um, substitute missing values, system does the substitute missing values algorithm on the fly, and you can also save that result in a different key figure. See, save result in, this is a key figure. So in the actual quantity, if there is any missing values, system does the mean and difference, I mean change the value. And if you want to also see the result of the pre-processing steps, you can actually bring that up in a different key figure. Same goes with other algorithms. Pre-processing, substitute missing, promotion lift, and then outlier. Again, based on the business decision, we'll pick up this. And then main forecasting steps. So here you specify apart from the input and output, you have the exposed, you have you can multiple algorithms, and then the best fit or weighted average. And then the post processing, once the forecasting is done, then system would do give you the forecast measures. Okay, and so once this is done, Abhinav has left, maybe he got bored. So once this is done, just save it and then run it from Excel UI or also web UI. We'll see the web UI, later on. Once we configure other models and stuff, we'll spend a day on running application jobs from web UI and how to schedule them and how to run them as a batch. So for now, we'll say run it from Excel UI, and then input selections we have to give. So yeah, so input selections, you give a filter on the fly. You pick up the model and you pick up the target unit of measure. You can also pick up the version that you want to run. You can run the entire forecasting in a different version and do all your adjustments and done. Once you're done with it, you can promote the results from one version to a base version or something like that. And yeah, so that's it, guys. That's it about the forecasting thing. Any doubts? Sure. Then tomorrow we'll start with the ABC/XYZ segmentation, how we can segment our entire products based on ABC indicators, based on a key figure, runtime, dynamic system would populate the ABC indicators. What's the point of running ABC indicators? Like again, it's kind of a segmentation of your entire data set. So for a product ABC IDA, you can run a different forecasting profile for it, or product ID B, different things. So it's kind of for your reporting purposes, you can use that.
Very good.
And then, yes, Amos.
Yeah. Quick question on this forecasting. So the key figure, the output key figure where the forecast gets stored, that key figure has to be stored key figure, or I mean calculated figure also will work.
Depends on your this thing, boss. Like for example, so there is statistical forecast quantity, forecast adjustment. Like I'll say forecast override. So now so this statistical forecast quantity can have two values. One is a stored value, and it can also have a calculated value. How? So this is how I write the calculation. I'll say if the forecast override is null, then then just preserve statistical forecast values. If it is not null, then give priority to the forecast override. So this is the calculation that I write. So with this, what happens is, run your forecast. You will get 100 here, and then 110 here, 120 here. Output of statistical forecast algorithm, stored values. Now you come to override. You say now, okay, I'll want this to be 2222. Now based on this calculation you wrote, now it becomes 222. So this statistical forecast quantity will hold. It can hold a stored value. It can also hold a calculated value. Now when you're using this statistical forecast quantity in another key figure calculation, there you will specify whether you want to use a stored values or you want to use a calculated values. If you say you want to use stored values, then system actually would pick up 100, 110, 120. If you say it's a calculated one, system takes 100, 222, 120.
Yeah,
So yeah, I think I have
in that new
gone.
figure,
Sorry.
yeah. So we are talking about if there is another key figure
Hmm.
where it needs to pick up the statistical forecast quantity value,
Hmm.
either stored or calculated one, correct? But now
Yes.
because of this calculation in statistical
Mm-hmm.
forecast key figure,
Mm.
uh, quantity is getting changed, right? Because of the forecast override.
Exactly. So I mean that's a requirement. If you want like this,
Correct, correct.
you can go with. Otherwise, you can say a simple, you can create another one called as a final calculated forecast, and here you will say instead of this. mm, Yeah, I mean, you can very well go with the same calculation here. What system does is, if there is no override, like here it is 100 and this is 110, this is 120, and like same here, like 333, then system gives 100, 333, and 120. We can also go with this, so you can preserve the statistical forecast. I mean, let's not disturb the forecasting outputs. So in that case, you can very well create another z key figure, and then you can store your final calculation with the override and statistical forecast in a different key figure. So this is also we can do. But yeah, to answer your question, um, output for forecasting in the profile, you have to only select a stored key figure. You are right, that's the thing. So in here, you have to pick up a stored key figure. Output, where is this? Output. But I'm also saying that that cannot be your limitation. If you say the sales forecast quantity is your stored key figure, you can also write some calculations on top of it. Okay. Okay. Sure, then we'll catch up tomorrow, Amal, on the ABC and then new product introduction. Okay. And then Amal, anyway, we started with the demand planning, and but anyway, you can come up with any doubt, while the sessions are going on. We can continue discussing on it.
Okay, okay, thank you.
Sure, Amal. Yeah, thanks. Bye.